Hey everyone, and welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Alana here, and today we are going to be digesting some crazy news. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner are heading towards divorce. Now, if you're not sure why this is considered shocking news, it's because anyone who has followed along with these two definitely didn't see this coming. Joe and Sophie are well known for having a private marriage. They also have gone viral a few times on social media for posting funny TikTok videos where they're teasing each other, making fun of old Jonas Brothers scandals from 15 years ago, and so much more. So once again, we see that the internet can and will lead you astray. Make sure to stay till the end to hear my thoughts on this coming from a source-based perception. Be sure to like and subscribe for more, tell us who else you want to see us talking about, follow us on social media, and as always, shout out to the live fam for watching this with us. On September 3rd, TMZ dropped the shocking news that Joe and Sophie are heading for divorce. Joe and Sophie started dating in October 2016, got engaged a year later in October 2017, then married in May 2019. When they first started dating, I remember there was a lot of speculation going on whether or not they were a real couple or a PR couple. They were doing a lot of things for attention. Joe was riding the Jonas Brothers nostalgia train after not hearing about them for a while. Remember, this was 2017, not now. And Sophie was wrapping up Game of Thrones, and as many actors/actresses leaving a massive TV show, there is the fear of fading, so naturally a person would need a plan to stay relevant. I'm not saying this is 1,000,000% what went down, I'm just telling you how I saw things in my exposing brain and how social media always tricks you into thinking everyone was loved the moment they did something. In 2017, people were looking at Joe and Sophie with narrowed eyes, especially because Joe was coming down from the high of dating everyone else. After they got married in May 2019, their relationship seemed to be the best it ever was, and social media was already hashtagging goals on everything they did. They were a very relatable and quirky couple. Even the way they got married is definitely something social media would gush over. They got married at a little white chapel in Vegas and sealed the deal with ring pop wedding rings. The wedding also took place randomly and a few hours right after the Billboard Music Awards. So it definitely was screaming iconic and goals at the same time. But now with this drama, social media does what it does best and put together pieces of a puzzle. For instance, did you guys know a day before their wedding, they almost called off the entire thing? A day before. Sophie said it was cold feet, but maybe it had more to do with an unstable foundation. Sophie admitted that when she first met Joe in 2016, he told her she needed to love herself more than she loved him. She basically said that she was going through a hard time with mental health, obsessing over her weight and calorie counting, and basically that he taught her how to love herself. In that same interview, she said that they secretly split just before their wedding, admitting both of them were anxious and panicking. That was in 2019. Here in 2023, the media reports that Joe is actually the one who filed for divorce and that both Joe and Sophie have a prenup in place. Joe is asking for joint custody of their two daughters, ages 1 and 3, and wants the judge to establish a parenting plan between him and Sophie that allows for frequent and continuing contact with both parties. The court document that TMZ obtained claims that Joe's two daughters have been staying with him in Miami and other locations throughout the United States as he and his brothers tour the country. Okay. The reports continue saying that the couple has had serious problems for at least 6 months now, even though they were constantly posting on social media, making everything look like it was fine. TMZ has been told over the last 3 months, Joe is the one who has been caring for their two young children pretty much all of the time, even as his band continues to tour. Joe was also seen on and off wearing his ring. Here he is photographed on August 11th without his ring, but Sophie posted a lovey-dovey Instagram photo of them on August 14, so no one paid too much attention to it. After TMZ broke the story that they are heading for divorce and Joe has contacted 2 lawyers in LA, he posted on his solo account along with the Jonas Brothers account a photo of him where you can clearly see him wearing his ring. Then again, the night after TMZ broke the news that they're separated, fans noticed that he was indeed wearing his ring at their concert on September 3rd. What do you guys think? Is he playing the media game or is he a guilty man? The TMZ article also mentioned that while Joe has been super busy releasing albums and touring with his brothers, Sophie has been in a few TV/movie stuff but isn't nearly as active as she was during her Game of Thrones days. Joe and Sophie then later posted a statement on social media saying, "After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage. There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children." Well, that's depressing. While Sophie is posting that they ended things amicably, Joe has his team releasing a bunch of different stories to TMZ, framing her as a bad mom who was partying too much and leaving him alone to take care of the kids. One source literally told TMZ, "She likes to party, he likes to stay at home. They have very different lifestyles." While the Jonas Brothers have been on tour for the last 3 months, Joe has had the kids almost all the time because Sophie has been in London filming. TMZ then reported on September 6th that Joe saw/heard something with Sophie that was the last straw in his decision to file for divorce, and it involved a Ring camera. Multiple sources who have direct contact with Joe tell TMZ Joe had access to a Ring cam that he said captured Sophie saying and/or doing something that made him realize the marriage was over. So it's interesting how Joe's side is releasing a bunch of these stories painting Sophie in a bad light, while Sophie is posting it's an amicable divorce. And when TMZ reached out to Sophie's camp, they had no comment. It feels like Joe is blackmailing her in the press by exposing that there is something caught on the Ring camera, but he's not telling us what. The media is even jumping on this narrative, with Access Hollywood posting on TikTok a video of Sophie dancing with her crew as she wraps up filming, saying, "Sophie Turner seen partying prior to divorce announcement." This is interesting since Joe was actually known as the party boy and he parties every night on tour. So this is why fans were confused, considering the image he's trying to pin on Sophie is actually the image people have of him. This begs the question, is Joe trying to hide something by getting his story out first and pinning this whole thing on Sophie? Or is Sophie truly the bad mom he's painting her as? Now Joe is seen taking the kids out in the midst of this divorce drama, hugging his brothers on stage, and now reports come out saying that the couple had problems after the birth of their second child. To me, it seems like Joe is 100% playing the media game, and if I learned anything from Hollywood, the one who plays the media game is usually the sneaky one, and the one getting destroyed while staying quiet is the more genuine one. I believe that Joe and Sophie started out rocky from the start. My sources throughout the years have been mentioning that Sophie was always the one more interested in Joe than he was in her. It's almost like she said it in that May 2019 interview where she said that he told her he couldn't be with her until she loved herself, and that she credits him as this genius who taught her self-love. Something about that screams toxic and actually lines up with what I've been told about them for years. Well, as always, the picture behind closed doors isn't the pretty one. Sophie was the one who held more interest towards Joe and was sort of forcing the relationship to come about. If we go back to 2016 when Joe and Sophie first met, let's take a look at what was a well-known fact in the fandom world. In 2016, Joe was the partying mess, and this is something even his own fans realized. Because as I always tell you guys, the information lies in the public eye, you just have to go looking for it. He was partying and dating around, even admitting that he was high during Coachella. And on the other hand, Sophie called herself a homebody in an interview and said that she struggles to keep up with Joe, the social butterfly.
Who's the homebody in the relationship.
Sophie then went on to reveal that it is actually Joe who enjoys being out all the time, and that she was grateful for quarantine because she normally struggles to lock him down.
I'm an introvert. I'm a homebody. I just like I if I could stay at home all day, I would. So this is great for me. Everything seems to be working out in my favor here because Joe's like he's a real social butterfly. So I struggle to kind of lock him down and have him just spend time with me. So it's like prison for him, but it's great for me.
She even said that she would pour him his tequila and alcohol shots while he did his little DJ live stream. So yeah, the info's not matching up. Joe doing drugs has been a long rumor that fans have questioned. He even tried to pin him doing weed for the first time on Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato, who were younger than him, when he told Vulture magazine in 2013 that they kept telling him, "Try it, try it." So it seems like Joe might have a reputation for pinning things on other people. It's definitely something to think about. And as usual with celebrities, partying too much is usually a sign they're also doing drugs. I had a source, and you can either believe this or not, but usually believing me makes a lot more sense than these random holes in celeb stories. But this source told me in 2016 that he was doing drugs and partying every single day like a teenage celebrity would. When Sophie came along, he started to clean up his act, and even the media reported that Joe might settle down with Sophie only a few months into dating. Right off the bat, sources confirmed that Joe didn't want commitment right away, and we speculated that Sophie might have been the one pushing news of dating and engagement because she wanted it to work.
Who fell in love first?
After they got married, they both benefited each other's career images. They also had a playful, healthy competition with Nick Jonas and his wife Priyanka Chopra as which couple is the more powerful celebrity couple. But it just seems that things fizzled out, and as most of us know, if a guy isn't 100% into you, he will most likely not stick around the way a girl would stick around. It's exactly the saying of, how you get them is how you lose them. When Joe and Sophie first got together, he was a lot less committed than she was. Then, giving it a try, getting married, having kids all within a few years wasn't enough to keep the relationship going. He is the one who filed for divorce after all. It's also important to mention that they sold their Miami home in November 2022, less than a year after buying it. That's usually a sign things aren't going well. Also, this whole image his team is trying to push with the "he's staying with the kids while she isn't" is so annoying. Because one, you're their dad. You don't really need a prize for doing what you're supposed to do. And two, I feel like his team is doing damage control by making Sophie look like she isn't as involved, or she's the one doing something wrong. I know social media is having a field day dragging Joe for that, and only time will tell what else will come out about these two, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me your comments down below, and as always, I'll see you next time.